So I'm Melanie Bartholomew. I'm the founder of The Digital Touch, and I help female entrepreneurs transform their online space from hot mess to hell yes. So I make sure that your branding is truly aligned, because when you're not aligned with your branding and your messaging, it's hard to talk about it. And so I really try and make sure that you understand like how to talk about it in a way that relates to your audience. Branding's not just a logo and colors. I mean, that's the fun part of branding, but the serious part of branding is like your messaging, how you speak about your services, your products to your audience. So after we do the branding, we take that to your website, and from there we really want to take your audience on a journey. So they're landing on your site and they're thinking, I don't know who this is really, but I want to learn more, like what's going on here. So they land on it saying like, I don't know who this is. And then they go through the journey to transform their experience to, yes, this is who I want to work with. This is my person. So that's what the website does. And I also specialize in sales pages. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, because a lot of people get sales pages wrong. And it's really about taking them on your audience on a journey through the sales page. When they land on your sales page, they're curious about your offer, but it is that sales page job to take them on a journey from curious to that is what I need. And then they click and they buy. So that's the purpose of a sales page. So I am going to share my screen here. It's in Canvas, so I'm going to go in and present. Okay, can everyone see that okay? Do I need to enter full screen? Can
Yeah,
everyone
that
see
looks good.
Okay, awesome. So what I want to talk to you about today is why your sales page isn't working and how to turn it into a selling machine. So I want to ask you guys, do you know what a sales page is? You can put it in the chat. Can I see the chat if I have it like that?
Yeah, let me know if you can pull it up, Melanie. You should be able to have it pop up.
Okay. I think I just need to have it not in full screen. So I'm going to present and then not in full screen. That way I can see the chat. Nope, I still can't.
And the slides do look good if you just want to have them in Canva. They're big enough. I can see them pretty well.
Oh, okay, that works. Let's see. Getting things figured out here. Okay. Perfect. I think it's the share screen. I'm trying to figure out why I can't see. Oh, there it is. There's the chat. Okay, perfect. I think I got this figured out. Sorry for the little technical issues, but in the chat, tell me if you know what a sales page is. If you think you have a pretty good idea, drop in the chat an emoji of some kind. Who here has a sales page? Does anyone here have a sales page?
When you say sales page, do you mean like a specific program that we're selling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes.
I want to know, because we're going to go through what a sales page is here. And so we can distinguish what an actual sales page is. So we can go through the types now. Okay, awesome. So Annie has a few sales page. Raina, is that how you say it?
That's
Raina?
right. Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Pat, you're new at this. Well, you're going to be a pro at this by the time we're done here. So you're in the right place. Okay. So the first type of website page that we have is like your website. So what is a website for? Your website establishes your brand's online presence. It's like your business's online home. It's where everything is hosted, your homepage, your about page, your contact page. And when you use it is like literally every day. It helps with visibility, SEO. It builds credibility, and it builds your brand story. Like people go to your website to learn about you, to learn about your services. And it really is a place where you can show people that you are the expert that you say you are on social media, or you say you are at networking groups. We kind of prove that on your website. And then we have a landing page. So a landing page is different than a sales page, and we're going to talk about that next. But your landing page captures leads with a single CTA. Like you might have, a lot of them are forms. A form is a landing page where you can capture emails, capture the leads that you're going to sell to later. But it's not actually to capture a sale. There's not a buy button. There's like an opt-in button or a freebie, something like that. And you use that with, your opt-ins, freebies, waitlists, webinar signups. It's to get people into your world. And then you have this sales page. A sales page actually is meant to give you sales. It's meant to make you money. You are like, what's it for? It converts curious browsers into committed buyers. Like I explained earlier, people are curious about what you're saying. They click on the button to go to your sales page because they want to learn more about it. And so that's where you take them from curious to buyers. And you use it to sell specific offers like a course, a specific service, a program. It could be a membership, something that you're going to talk about specifically about one thing throughout the whole page. So that's what a sales page is, to kind of distinguish between a landing page and a sales page and a website. A lot of those things get intertwined and confused. So hopefully that makes a little more sense as we're talking about a sales page moving forward. So I'm going to talk to you next about the 3 common mistakes people make on their sales page that kills conversions. These 3 mistakes are the most common reason why people's sales pages don't work. And so we're going to talk about them one-on-one about each one. Where's my mouse? There it is. So the first mistake is you're talking about your offer and not your audience. So a lot of people, me included at first, when I was first starting my business, I was like, oh, people need to know about what I'm giving them. They need to know what happens on this day. They need to know like what email they're going to get. People like don't really care about the nitty-gritty details of what's inside your offer. They care about how it affects them, their transformation. So when we're talking about the offer, we want to talk about it in a way that teaches them what is in it for them. Like, yeah, that's great. You have a sales call each month or like a one-on-one call each week. That's awesome. But what do you get out of it? We want to talk about their transformation so that they really see themselves where they want to be and not just the tools that get them there. So that is one of the biggest mistakes, is talking about the offer and not to your audience in that way. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, awesome. So I was talking to someone about I have a copy workbook for the sales page and that I sell. And so I was talking to someone who used that copy workbook, and she's like, I didn't realize that I was talking about just the offer and not the transformation. And that changed everything on the sales page. So I'm like, just a little mistake can change your audience's journey throughout the whole page and help them convert easier. So mistake number 2 is you're being overwhelming instead of guiding. I see this mistake so many times, and it's painful for me to see because I can see the mistake because I know it, but it is easy to do, where you're like, I need them to know everything about my story. I need them to know everything about this offer. And so there's just loads and loads of text. I've been on a sales page where it's just like I keep scrolling and it's just text, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to read this book right now. So they're just like throwing information at me and not guiding me through my journey. What would have helped is bold headings that break up the paragraphs so I can kind of skim and get the grasp of what's going on in that huge like book paragraph of a sales page. There's also another way to be overwhelming instead of guiding, and that is with a lot of elements in one section. So you see my face right here. This little area, we'll call this my hero section. And it's the hero section because it literally is the hero of your sales page. It can make or break your sales page because this section right here is what people see. They don't have to scroll. They don't have to do anything. They see what's here, and that can make or break your sales page. It can determine if people leave or if people stay and keep scrolling to learn more. So when you have so much information in one section of your sales page, it can be very overwhelming. I recently looked at, I should have put on a slide to show you guys, but I recently landed on an ad and I was like, oh my gosh, I need this. It was talking about like something like AI, and we're all like, everyone uses AI. So I'm like, I need to learn more about this. I got on the sales page and I was like, I instantly left because there was so many words right here, right in your area, that I was like, that is overwhelming to me. I don't even know where to look. And so I left. And I was like, how many other people are doing this? I wonder if they know that this is actually causing them to lose sales. And so having too much information in one section, whether it's words or elements, it could be flowers or like little squiggles on a page. It could be words or elements. You want to make sure that your eyes are drawn to the text so that they can easily read it and want to scroll. They easily say, that is me. That is who they are talking to. I'm going to keep scrolling to learn more. So that's the mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 is sending them straight to checkout instead of taking them on their journey from cold to hot on your sales page. I struggle so much when I see someone on Instagram or network and then they're talking about their amazing offer, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to click the link and I'm going to learn more. And then it sends me straight to a checkout page. And I'm like, I instantly feel like a dollar sign to them. Has anyone else like felt that before? Like they land on a page and they're like, oh, they just literally just want my money. That's not a fun feeling. So we want to make sure that like even in a cold audience, yeah, like Annie's saying that she often has questions, and I'm the same way. I'm like, I clicked on it because I wanted to learn more about it. I had questions, but now you're just wanting to take my money. So I probably would have purchased, but I didn't because I didn't feel valued. I didn't feel cared about. I wasn't taken on that journey that makes me feel emotion. And so that is one of the biggest mistakes. That is like a killer on conversions. I hope you don't ever do that. Send them to some kind of a sales page before that. So I want to know in the chat, drop a 1, 2, or 3 if you have done any of these mistakes. No one. Everyone's perfect. Yay. Probably all 3. I know, right? Oh, I'm sure we've all done all 3 at some point. Okay, 1 and 2, especially the beginning. It is hard. Like once, when you're just starting to be like an entrepreneur and talking about your offers, you really don't know what you're doing. So you just do what you can, right? So I want to work with you together. I'm going to show on the slides here coming up, but I want to talk about the section that is the most missed, yet one of the most important. Like we have your hero. I just talked about that, your hero. That's the most important. It's what people see first. The next most important is this section right here. And I want to work together with you because it is really important. So what it is their pain section. So why you need to call out their pain on your sales page. I know it is hard for people to do, and that's why it's the most missed section and the most section that people get wrong the most. Ugh, that made sense. But it's hard to talk about pain. It's hard to talk about emotions. It's just an kind of an uncomfortable feeling. And so that's why we don't like to do it. But I'm going to guide you through doing this on your own sales page because it is so important. It grabs their attention fast. They know you understand them and they are in the right place. Feeling like you belong somewhere is really powerful. So when someone lands on your page and they feel like, dang, I'm in the right spot, that's powerful. The next reason is it builds trust through empathy. Since you understand their real emotions, they start to trust you. I don't know if you have a girlfriend you're talking to, but someone who's in the same situation as you automatically feel that trust. And you feel like you can talk about it. So when you mention that pain and that frustration, it really helps them feel understood and they feel like they can start to trust you, which is a huge factor in getting someone to buy your service or offer, is having that trust. And this does that. The next reason is because it creates emotional connection. People buy with emotion and then justify it with logic. So this section builds that first emotional connection, which is super important in getting that sale, right? So the first thing we're going to do is you can screenshot this if you want, so that you can like have it always. But we're going to work through 3 pains. So the first pain we're going to work on is, what are they tired of? So this is what you're going to name the thing that they are tired of. Think about your offer. Think about like if you're having a program or a service or a course, like what are they tired of doing that relates to your offer? And I want you guys to put that in the chat because I want to work on this together. If you have a service that you're unsure of what they could be tired of, like I want to work through it with you. So if you have what you're tired of, put it in the chat. If you have a question, put it in the chat. We're working through this together. So tired of applying to jobs online and getting no interviews. That is a good one. Like they obviously have done it a lot and then they've done it a lot, but they still aren't getting interviews. That's perfect. Anyone else want to drop anything in the chat? Take a few minutes and think about it. And while you are doing this, I'm just gonna grab my charger because I realized my computer isn't plugged in and it's gonna die soon. So if you don't mind me, I'm business on top and lazy on the bottom. So just one second.
No problem. So good. Women who are tired of feeling stuck in their careers, imposter syndrome, inner critic, tired of feeling dissatisfied. Yeah. And Brianna, I don't know if you have any ideas, but feel free to drop them in the chat too.
Awesome. You guys are coming up with some awesome things. Women who are tired of feeling stuck in their careers because imposter syndrome and their inner critic. Yes. Tired of feeling dissatisfied and unhappy at work. Yes. Those are perfect. Like you're calling out their pain. they might not want to hear it, but they will also be like, yep, that's me. Been there, done that. Okay, so the next section is we're going to call out their emotion. This is where we relate to them and build that trust. So we named what they're tired of. So now we're going to name their emotion. Like, no matter what, you can't break free from it. So take this prompt below, and you can even put this in like ChatGPT. If you want to screenshot this, put it in ChatGPT so you can really brainstorm this later if you're having troubles coming up with it on your own. But it feels emotion they're experiencing because why is it? Why is it this way? So if you want to take a minute and work through that, type it out, put it in the chat. We can work on that together and see what you guys have come up with. Does anyone want to share in the chat? Or do you need more time?
Yeah, just typing it in.
Okay, thanks. And I don't know why I'm in here and then I'm in here again. I'm in here twice. Maybe it's just mine. I don't know.
It's okay. Yeah, it popped up that you were recording at one point, so I think that it made you a second person.
Oh my gosh, that's weird. Okay, sorry about that.
I'll just share, while folks are writing in the chat, I think this is really helpful, and it is interesting when my background is research and user journeys and thinking about the language we use and how that literally takes someone on a mental journey. It's like the priming of our brain to be able to be ready to invest in something. This is just such powerful language to be thinking about to get someone in the space that they know that we hear them and we see them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Feeling seen and heard is like, it feels really good. And so when you land on a page where you feel like, oh, this person could help me, and you're what's the word I'm looking for? You feel validated by that through what they've been through, and that they've felt that as well, and they're calling you out. Like, you feel seen, you feel heard. And it is really, when I do sales pages, I really focus on the emotion because stuff, yeah, emotion sells. Emotion relates, emotion builds trust. So Raina said they feel hopeless because they worked really hard and are not getting the visibility and seeing the progress they are not making. Yeah. Because yeah, so Raina said you're tired of feeling stuck in your career because imposter syndrome and your inner critic. You feel hopeless because you've worked really hard and you're not getting the visibility and seeing the progress you hope to be making, right? So that is really powerful. That is a really good one. Does anyone else want to share? Hopeless is such a good word to call out to because people, and that's such a powerful emotion too, and naming it is really powerful. So for mine, I have, let's see. For mine, I say it was mine. I'm going to go back here for a sec. So mine, I put a sales page, like they're tired of a sales page that looks decent but doesn't actually bring in sales. And then for the emotion, I said it feels defeating because no matter how many times you tweak the headline or rearrange sections, it still doesn't make sales. So calling out the emotion, well, they're tired of calling out the emotion. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next pain. So right now we're telling them what they're tired of feeling. Now we're going to tell them what they've already tried. So what have they tried already and it didn't work? So you've tried a common solution they've attempted, but it isn't working because of this. So we're going to call it out. We're going to call out what they've already tried. And I'm going to put mine in the chat as well. So be thinking through that prompt and working through that. So Raina put, you've tried advocating for yourself, but you're still talked over in meetings and overlooked for projects. You are very qualified to lead. Yeah. They've tried advocating for themselves, but they're still getting talked over. Frustrating. Like I feel that frustration. That's perfect. And he says, you've tried sticking to a strict budget, but it always backfires and you end up splurging on Uber Eats within a week. Yep, I feel that. I feel that. Katie says, you've tried rewriting your resume and updating with ATS keywords, but you still aren't getting interviews. Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Okay, let's go to the next section here. No, the next question that really, so we've called out what they've tried. Now we're going to name the emotion of what they're feeling because of what they've tried and it's not working. So now you're feeling the frustration or emotion because why they feel stuck. You guys are awesome at this. And here's mine I put, now you're left feeling frustrated and overlooked because even with all the work you've put in, your page still isn't bringing in sales, which is what people want, sales. And Raina says, now you're feeling hopeless and defeated because you can't move the needle in your career. Yes, hopeless and defeated. Yep. Katie says, now you're feeling frustrated and exhausted because you've spent countless hours on your job search and haven't gone anywhere. Yes. You guys are really good at calling out these emotions because I'm feeling them. Like I have been there and I know I feel frustrated and exhausted, and how your audience must feel and relate to that is so powerful. Let me know when you're ready to move on to the next section or if someone's still typing or working it out. Okay, so now we're going to go to the third pain. And this one is what is keeping them stuck? So what are they stuck doing? You can use the prompt, you're stuck in the cycle of what pattern do they keep repeating and you don't know how to break it.
I'm not sure if I've got this one down. I put
Okay.
demotivated, but I'm not sure that that's what we're looking for here.
Okay, we'll take a look at it. So Katie said you're stuck in a cycle of mindless, easy apply job applications on LinkedIn and you don't know what else to do. Yeah, that is good. Just like randomly applying to a million jobs the easy way. Yeah. Rena, you're stuck in a cycle of feeling demotivated and you don't know how to break it. So why do they feel demotivated?
Because they feel like they've worked so hard and they see other people getting opportunities, well, men in particular. So I work with women, and so they see others getting opportunities that they're perfectly qualified for. And then it's like, well, what's the point? Right?
Yeah,
And they get to this point where they're like in the middle of their career and they're stuck and they're like, well, what's the point of me even doing this? I may as well do something else or leave my job or whatever. And then they don't continue forward with their careers and they don't, because they don't feel like they're thriving. They don't feel fulfilled.
right. So maybe like you're stuck in a cycle of being unnoticed, of working the hardest but not being um rewarded, and you don't know how to break free from that. But does that help? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
awesome.
gonna, I'm gonna, put that into the chat. Like I'm gonna just work with that and see what you think.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Here's what mine is. Maybe give some inspiration. Did I miss anyone? I think I got everyone. Okay, is everyone ready to move forward, or does anyone have any questions? Want help working through it?
You might be getting into this, Melanie, but with these sections, is this all in the hero section or is this underneath an intro?
So this is actually underneath the hero. This is in the section that I call their pain. So it's the second section out of 15.
Okay.
Yeah. So the hero is like, that's where you really call out who you're helping and what you're helping them do. And then they scroll on to see, like, to really feel it. Like they know they're in the right place because they saw the hero section. So they're like, yep, I'm in the right place. I'm going to keep scrolling. And then they're going to be called out on all of these emotions and really start building that trust. So Reina says, you're stuck in a cycle of working hard, but not being noticed or rewarded, and then getting demotivated because of it, and you don't know how to break it. Yes, that's perfect. You reworked that really well. Good job. So now we're going to call out their feelings too for this. And so we're going to highlight the negative emotion. I know it is really hard to talk about these emotions and calling them out, but it is really important. So it feels like no matter what, your frustration continues. I will drop mine in the chat. So for me, mine is like, if it feels like no matter what, you're still guessing and still not seeing results, which makes you second guess your offer and yourself, which is not a fun feeling. So go ahead and use this prompt and work out what they are feeling because they are stuck. Rena says, I feel like it feels like no matter what, I can't win at work and thrive at work. Yes, those are so powerful. That will definitely relate to your audience. I don't even know your business very well. That's great. Katie says, no matter what, you'll never get escape. I'll never get to escape my current job. Yeah. How's everyone feeling about this? From a 1 to 10, 1 being like this isn't helping, and 10 being like this is awesome. 1 to 10, how is this helping you for your pain section right now? Awesome. Awesome, Annie. Yeah, I'm actually going to share in the next slide, I think. I think it's the next slide, Katie. Because we're going to see it all come together. Pat, you're not sure yet? Yeah, you're still in the beginning. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're taking screenshots because you're going to need it in the future. Okay, so this is how it comes together, and I hope this is big enough because if you see here, we have each of the sections. We have what they've tried, what they are tired of feeling, of doing, and what they're stuck and why they're stuck. So we have these 3 main sections, and if you've noticed that the first part of the section, like this section right here, where we are emphasizing, where we are what they tried and didn't work. The first section of each of these questions, now I gotta go back over, oops, is a little bit different. It's bolder right here. It is a little bit bigger and a different text over here, so it stands out. So they're not reading this entire like paragraph of things that they don't want to read, like this book that's just going to be boring. It's easy to scan. It's easy to distinguish each of the sections, and the space between them, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but the space between these, it's there for a reason. It gives them time to breathe. It gives them time to think. It gives them space to think about their feelings that they just felt before they move on to the next one and read that one. Does this help? Let's see. Does it help, Katie, to see that?
Would it be possible to make it a little bit bigger?
Look at that. I can. Yes.
Perfect.
Well, there's that section. I don't know where your guys' heads are. Mine's like over here, so that I can see.
That's awesome. And can you get the other side too? Just so
Yep. I did not know you could do this. This is really cool. Okay, there you go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I
Okay.
wonder if you can turn these into Instagram posts too, right? Essentially.
Oh yeah, probably. You can definitely can, like when you're talking to your audience on Instagram, like these are things you want to call out, right? So you can definitely talk about the pain, like you've been feeling this. So that's what I'm here to help. Click on this link, send them to your sales page, send them to your website, and that's great. That is a really good idea, Katie. So yeah, so what I was telling Annie is that like this section comes after your hero section. So they feel like they belong, they're in the right place. Then they go to this section and you're like, oh man, that hits hard. Like she sees me. She's been there. She knows what I'm feeling. You're building that trust. And the next section tells you why. You're going to tell them why you know this. I've been there. I've done this before. This is why I know this. And so it really just takes them on a whole complete journey. And so this was just one section of a high converting website. So if you're ready to keep going, there's 15 entire sections on your sales page that I walk you through, a lot like this. The copy workbook it's built that way where you can actually type it in to the sections. It has prompts, and it also has examples for each and every section of the website of the sales page. So it has the exact structure. So for the course, so I have two offers. So I have the entire course that brings you through the entire 15 sections. But if you kind of liked what you did here and you want to keep going on your own, you can get the sales page starter kit, and that has the 15 sections, the exact structure of your sales page, not just the sections, but what order they should go in order for that journey to make sense and really vibe with your audience. So it has the copywriting prompts for your hero section. We talked about that. And then there's a visual breakdown of what section goes where. And you'll have instant clarity on what your page is missing and what to do next. So if you want to scan that, you can grab the starter kit. It's like $17 or something like that. But it is a really good start on trying to DIY your sales page, the structure, the hero section. Like the most important part of your sales page is this hero section. And then the next being the pain section, what we just worked on. So if you want to continue what we just did into the hero section, go ahead and grab that the sales page starter kit. And then I just want to go over what we learned today. So we learned what a sales page really is, the difference between a website, landing page, and a sales page. We learned the 3 common conversion killing mistakes and how to avoid those 3 mistakes. And then we learned how to write the section that builds instant trust and connection in a way that reflects your audience's pain points without sounding dramatic or generic. Like, how called out do you think your audience feels after that? Like, they feel very called out. And then you learned what to do next to confidently start building your own sales page that connects and converts, starting with the most important section, which is your hero. So next thing I want to do is just have a Q&A. I'm going to stop screen sharing unless we need it again. But if anyone has any questions, I am here to help you.
Hey, Melanie, this has been really great. I do have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so on my website, I have a home page, I have an about page, I have a services page, and I have like a blog page and a contact page. These are like the links at the top of my website, that you can do like a quick link to. So
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm imagining that this sales page, like nobody can buy something from my website directly. So what I'm trying to get them to do is to book a discovery call with me. So I'm imagining that this kind of sales page format that you're laying out should be my services page. Is that right? Or is it a different kind of page than what I already have?
Yeah, so that you could definitely use some of these sections for your service page. And I actually do a lot on my clients' websites. I use a lot of the same structure, but it is different. Like your services page, how many services do you have?
Like 3 main packages.
Okay, so your services page is going to talk about your 3 main packages, right? And so once they are like, oh, this is the package I need, they click on that to learn more. And that's where the sales page comes in. That's where you're gonna talk about the specific offer. And you might end up having 3 sales pages. I mean, I have 2, but I'm obviously gonna be making more. But it really just depends on how many services you have and what you're doing with them. Like, if you want to have a sales page for each of your services, that is really great. It's going to take them on a journey for each of the services, right? Another thing the sales page is really good for is if you're like sending people to ads. If you have ads, and they click on your ad, you send them to the sales page. You don't want to have them click on an ad and have it take you to your website, because that has so many links around it. They're going to get lost. Maybe they'll purchase, maybe they're not. But this gives you a specific link. Maybe you're talking about one of your services on Instagram and you want to have them go to that specific service to learn more and purchase or book a call with you. That would be this sales page would be great for that service, for that reason. Does that help clarify it all?
Yeah, it does. So it sounds like the services page, or at least in my case, the services page wouldn't really provide a ton of detail about each package. It would be like just a little bit of a teaser and then say, click here for more info, and then go to the sales page and then get more in depth.
Yeah, it really just depends on what kind of offers you have. If they're very similar, they could kind of go in the same page, but depending on your pricing, depending on your packages, it really is good for SEO, search engine optimization, if you have each service be its own page. Because if people are searching a service and yours is clumped onto these other three, Google's not going to be like, nope, let's send them there, because who knows if this is going to help them or not, right? So having a specific page for a service, for one service, is really good for SEO, really good for taking people on a journey. What I do with my clients is they have our services page, right? And it goes into a little bit of detail, really tells them like, maybe this is what phase you're in. This is what you're looking for. Click here to learn more. And then they have the sales page. So since you have 3 services, you technically want 3 sales pages. That like if you had them like in a row, like these services, each of these services would go to a sales page, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's really helpful. I had never considered setting up my website like that. So the sales pages are not, I forget what the term is, like direct linked or whatever on the website. Is that what it's called? So somebody couldn't you'd have to click on the link in the services page to get to the sales page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the best practice for a sales page is actually not to have any links anywhere other than your buy button or your book button, because we don't want them clicking on Instagram, getting distracted. We don't want them going to learn about you. We want them right here, focused on this one thing. We want them to do this one action. So that's really the best practice for sales pages. But if you do have it on your services, they can click on it, look at it, not get distracted, and always push the back button to get back to your other services.
Yeah. Okay, that's so helpful. Thank you, Melanie.
You're welcome. Any other questions? We have a few more minutes.
I'll just ask, anything else that, I know you mentioned like the top 3 things that you see as mistakes, but anything else when it comes to design or flow or language that we should keep in mind? Just common errors?
Common errors, yeah, I would say this is really hard because I know you like your colors and your colors are your colors, but sometimes people have, and I can give you this tool. I'm going to give you this tool because I use this tool like almost every day. I'm going to send the link here and put it in the chat. This is called color review. And this can help you determine if people can read your text. Like if you have a background color and you put a text over it, sometimes people can't read it because the colors are too similar. So that's an issue I see a lot. And I'm like, what does that say? Like, I can't really tell because the colors aren't drastic enough, right? So that's one of the main things. I have this color review bookmarked on my homepage because I think it's really important that people actually see what you have to say. And so that's one of the things. The other thing is like, give your text, give your space room to breathe. What I say is like 1 section per screen. Like you want to space things out. You don't want to see how much you can fit in like this section. You want to be able to breathe, and not have everything like touching and so close that you feel claustrophobic. That's another thing I see a lot is just people don't give enough space to let you breathe. The pictures, like having pictures on your sales page and your website, it really gives people a chance to breathe and think about what they just read before they hit the next section. So does white space. White space pictures are great for that. Does that help, Annie?
Yeah, that's super helpful.
Awesome.
And yeah, I've definitely learned that over time. Space is your friend. White space is your friend. Letting short. Yeah, I've had lots of people review my pages, and definitely the common theme is less is more. And
Yes.
use bolded, use headers, use images, break it up, make it simple, make it scannable.
Yeah, something I love to ask myself is a lot of people are like, well, what can I add? And I ask myself, what can I take away? Because less is more. You don't want to distract from your point. You want to emphasize it and guide people, but you don't want to distract. So ask yourself, what can I take away that will make this more powerful? Any other questions? Okay, well, I want to say thank you. We have a few minutes. I can give you back your morning or afternoon, depending where you are in the world. But I want to thank you for going through this workshop with me. And I really hope that you were able to get a lot out of it. And hopefully I will keep in touch with you.
Love it. Yes, I will be sending out the recording to everyone along with Melanie's information so you all can check it out. Melanie, do you want to drop your website in the chat too so folks can go check you out now?
Yes, I can do that as well. I have my website. And then I have my sales page website. So I'll drop them both.
Thanks so much. And yeah, I'll just drop this for everyone just as a reminder. We have tons of other events coming up. They're all listed out on our events page. Lots of good stuff related to running your business and making more money in your business. So please check it out, get involved in the next one. And Melanie, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me, Annie.
Thanks,
All
Melanie.
right.
This was great.
You're
Melanie.
welcome, Rena.
All right. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Annie.
Bye.